Today on the channel, we're going to take a look at my junkers, basically my Partscasters and my homemade builds, and I'm going to tell you why I love them so much. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at my junkers. I use that term affectionately when I say junkers. I basically just mean guitars that I've spent pretty much under $300 on that are Partscasters, or guitars that I've assembled that I really like, that play awesome, and I've grown very fond of. So the first one I'm going to show you is this. This is probably a Squire body. I bought this off of eBay maybe 5 years ago, and I think I paid $240, $229 for it, and it works perfectly. The guy reliced it. A lot of you on the channel probably hate relics. I think relics are cool, but what drew me to this guitar was the fact that it was just so reliced and so demolished, and it was this mustard looking yellow color. I had to have it. It was just terrible, but when it showed up, it really feels good and it plays really nice. The pickup sound killer. The back of it's got definite signs of wear, and it's got, basically what this is probably a Squire Jazzmaster body with a Jaguar neck, because it's got the block inlays. The neck feels really good. It's got binding on it. It's got these really cool block inlays. There's no fret sprout. The nut is carved excellent. So I guess this guy probably either that's a factory nut or he put this nut on there. It's really, really nice. The action is super low. It's never budged a bit. This guitar's been playable since I took it out of the cardboard box off of eBay. It's got some basic, Chinese tuners on it. I like the big headstock that's on this guitar. Did not come with a tremolo arm, but all the volume and the tone works good. All the switches work just fine. It's killer. I love this guitar. I'm going to get some close-up views of it right now. So let's take a close-up look at the guitar, and I'll show you what it looks like on the front and the back up close, okay? Cool, let's check it out. Okay, moving on, I'm going to show you this gold top telecaster that I built. What drew me to this body when I bought it was it has double binding on the top and the back, and it's gold all the way around it, okay? And I named it Goldfinger. I paid $125 for this body, which is expensive for me. I normally look for bodies in the $40 to $60 range, but this was a perfect body with gold flake, double binding, so I thought that was a good deal. And I wound up buying this neck. This is, I get Chinese necks. I buy these Chinese necks. If I look on eBay and I see a Chinese neck that's available for about $30 to $40, I take a chance, because if the shoulders are too firm on it or too tall, I'll file the edges of the shoulders down and round it a little bit, and I'll file the edges of the fret to smooth them out if there's a little bit of, fret sprout, and I can work with the nut a little bit if it's cut poorly. But usually those Chinese necks for $30 to $60, you can usually get a pretty good deal, and for that price it's workable. Sometimes you can find a Squire neck for $65, $70. If you can do that, I would do that instead. But I put Fender decals on all my builds just because psychologically it makes me feel better. I'm not trying to sell it or fake anybody out. But altogether, this guitar I've probably got around maybe $200 into it. You know, when you buy you can buy these plates and bridges online for, you know, maybe 15 bucks a piece, and tuners for about 15. If you're trying to do it budget, that's always my goal. I try to build a good guitar for $200 to $300, something that's really nice, and I shop around and find the best deals that I can. So yeah, the Fender neck plate, I think I got that for $80 or $8 on eBay. These are actually Fender tuners that I found. I think these Fender tuners were maybe 20 bucks. They're actually really nice Fender tuners. So it's got nice equipment. I did luck out. Somebody had given me a set of these Fender noiseless pickups. I had originally had the stock kit pickups in it that weren't very good. And if you wait a while, things come around, you find deals, maybe trade, wheel and deal for somebody, but somebody wound up giving me these noiseless pickups, which was awesome thing to do. So I put these noiseless in here a few months ago, and it sounds great. But yeah, I would say maybe I've got, I underestimated earlier, 200. I bet you I got 250, 275 in this. And she's killer. Let's take some close-up looks of it, okay? Looks at it, all right? Let's take a gander. Okay, so the next guitar is going to be this blue kind of Bahama surf looking, you know, maybe Maui blue oceanscape telecaster that I made. This is one of my homemade projects. This telecaster I built exclusively for myself. This was going to be my pride and joy, and I absolutely love this guitar. It's really nice. I did wind up spending a little bit more on this body. I paid about $100 for this body, and it's got a really nice maple cap on it. It's about 1/4 inch, and it's a really nice flamed piece that is not a laminate. And I took some dye from Hobby Lobby and some ink and some dye, and I got it this color, and I got the back of it a real nice brown. I put mini Grover mini Grover tuners on the back, kidney bean style tuners, because that's what I like. Pearl pick guard. Now this neck here is not a Fender neck. This is another Chinese neck that I bought, and I've rounded the shoulders on it, and I've cleaned up some of the fret sprout, but it feels really good. I had to replace the nut. The nut was terrible. I've replaced this nut twice. It kind of gave me some trouble. But everything on this guitar plays wonderful. The most expensive aspect of this guitar, now mind you, I made this guitar, this one I really wanted to play it a lot. I wanted this one to be the best it could possibly be. I wanted it super high end, so I found these are bare knuckle, I think they're called 52. They're some kind of 52 pickup. I can't remember what they're called, but they're bare knuckle 52s. And I bought these used from Eastside Music Supply in Nashville. I bought them used. They were $150 for the set of these pickups. So that was the heart and soul of this guitar. So I didn't want to cheap out on pickups. This is just a standard, this is the standard Chinese ashtray bridge. It's got brass barrels, which is nice. And I think I paid about $10, $15 for this control plate. maybe $9 for that pearl pickguard off Stratosphere. I think I gave about $28 for those tuners and $10 for the neck plate, $8 for the ferrules. I don't know, all in, this guitar was probably safe to say this one came in just a little bit over 300 bucks, but this is a fantastic sounding, playing, and beautiful looking Telecaster. You're going to see a lot of Telecasters in this video because I love Telecasters. We don't talk about them a lot on this channel, but I love Teles. Plus they're fun to make and they're easy to make. Let's get some close-up shots of this one. Okay, moving on. This is a Dylan body that I bought from a guy on eBay, and it's starting to get some chips on the side of it. This thing chips pretty easily when you knock it against stuff, so the lacquer on this stuff is pretty fragile. But it's a really cool looking front of the guitar. You know, it looks, it looks all like I don't know, like marble or like those countertops that they put pieces of stone in, but it's pretty. And I think I gave about 60 bucks for this body. And this is another, $35, $40 neck. I bought this neck off of Marketplace. So I'm not sure what brand it is. It's probably a Chinese neck, but there's 0 fret sprout on it. The nut was perfectly cut. And I've got Grover mini tuners on this one as well. I usually pay about 30 bucks for those. This one's interesting because the top of it is unusual. It's not like a regular Tele. It's got a 3-way switch, volume and tone, and then it's got the control plate on the back of it. It's very lightweight. Now the pickups in this, I used to work with a company called Tone Specific. They're still some friends of mine, but they used to send me pickups to demo for the channel early on, a few years ago. And these are tone specific, I can't remember which tone specific models these are. I want to say they're some kind of blues. It's a blues pickup for tone specific. But these are really nice pickups. I've got a broken string on this. There's only 5 strings, I just noticed. But these are really high-end pickups. They're really resonant. So it's kind of like a super Telecaster, man. This thing kicks butt. Let's get some close-up views of it. I love it. Okay, moving on. Are you bored yet? Hopefully not. I got a few more to go. So this is my attempt to do a Fender custom shop looking guitar. This was my first real attempt at doing a relic. This is a Fender Eric Clapton body that my buddy, the skipper, sold to me for I think $125. He gave me a great deal. And the paint was, we took the paint off of it. It had been in a fire, and we took the paint off of it. It was undamaged. So I got this body cheap for a Clapton body. Clapton bodies are normally like $500 or so, $580, somewhere in that range. So he gave me a really good deal because he's a good friend. Thanks, Skipper. And what I did is I wound up getting a real fender bridge for it. This is a Squire neck. I had a really nice Squire neck that feels great. And I don't mind if it's a Squire or Fender neck. If the neck feels good, it is good. And this neck feels nice. I would like to get a different neck for it, though, just so, you know, I've got more fret access. It would be nicer to have, it'd be nice to have one extra fret on the ends, because this one's just 21 frets. But one day soon, I'll put me a new neck on this that's got more frets. One more fret. I need that extra fret. So this is a great guitar. I put noiseless pickups in it. Wound up getting those noiseless pickups in the neighborhood of maybe like 70, 80 bucks used. Altogether, I've probably got around $300 in this guitar, because it took a lot of different paints and you know, parts and pieces. But I got a good deal on everything. It's got some real Fender tuners on it. It's got a real Fender bridge, noiseless pickups. So other than the Squire neck, this thing is pretty much all Fender. And just shopping around for the pieces and the parts, you know, and having a good hookup with Skipper giving me this body for $125. Excellent guitar. It sounds fantastic, and it looks cool. I think it looks cool anyway. I like relics. So let's do some close-up views of this Clapton kind of Cobra, Ford Cobra looking paint scheme that I put on it. You know, kind of reminiscent of the 60s. That's what I was going for. Cool, let's take a look at it. All right, so the next guitar is really special. This one was a steal. Sometimes you get really lucky when you buy Partscasters and used guitars, and this was a case where I got extremely lucky. I wound up finding this guitar at Sam Ash when they were in business, and an older gentleman had sold this. This was his son's guitar, and his son had passed away. And being a Partscaster, Partscasters really don't command a lot of money when they get trades. And the resale on them is typically kind of low. And I found this guitar, wound up getting this guitar for around $275, I think, somewhere in that range. This is a beautiful all parts body. On the All Parts website, these bodies are quite expensive. I'm going from memory, but I want to say these bodies go for a little over $200, and this is an All Parts neck that actually has a Fender. It's got a Fender logo on the inside, like licensed by Fender. I dropped my tone switch, and my cat is chasing my tone switch around. That's the bad thing. My tone, the tip of my tone pot here, or tone switch. That's the bad thing about Telecasters. Those things always fall off. So, anyways, my cat's getting fat. If you've seen him in recent videos, this cat is getting so big he eats like way too much, but he's a grown boy. I'm going to put him down on the ground here. All right, so, hey, at least he found the top of my tone three-way switch, all right? So we've got that on here. I'm going to take it off because it's going to fall back off. Anyway, back to the story. So this is a Fender licensed all parts neck. These necks are, I priced them, they're close to $300. These are really nice patinaed vintage looking style tuners. It's got a Fender ashtray bridge on it. These are Fender pickups. These are Fender pots. Everything on this guitar that's electronic is Fender brand, and the tuners are Fenders. This is a license by Fender neck and all parts body. So the guy that built this guitar spent quite a bit of money on this. I wouldn't doubt if he put close to $1,000 in this guitar if he paid full price for all these parts. But I will never sell it. I'm proud to have it. I'm sorry that he passed away. I don't know the story behind that, but I heard the story, and I wanted the guitar initially, but after I heard the story, I thought, well, I got to do this thing justice in honor of him, just make this thing sing and make it part of my arsenal of guitars. So let's take a close look at it. This neck is super big. This neck is fat. It's like a Richie Kotzen neck, but it feels awesome. Great guitar, great tone, nice color, nice relic to it. Let's check it out. Okay, here's a fun one. This was a Squier, or this one is a Squier Telecaster. Now these were Guitar Center exclusives to my knowledge. I remember when Guitar Center used to have these for like $200. It's a sparkle red Telecaster. And anything with sparkles, if you put sparkles on it, I'm gonna buy it. I mean, I don't care what it is, I just like sparkles. But whoever owned this guitar, I bought this thing used. I got this guitar for like $100. $100 used, and I knew by looking at the pickups they had changed the pickups. I could just tell by this bridge pickup it wasn't a Squier, right? So I took a shot and I bought it. It was $100. It had sparkles, and winds up it's got DiMarzio Telecaster pickups. I can't remember which DiMarzios they are, but they're really nice. They sound killer. It's got these I can't remember what they're called. You can get a nut made out of those things and saddles made out of it. You can get them for Les Pauls also. I'll think of it after this video. If someone remembers what I'm talking about, put it in the comments. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I can't think. But they put a mirror pickguard on it, which is cool. And it might be clear red. It might just be clear and you can see the red underneath it, but it looks like a mirror pickguard. And they painted the headstock red to match the body. So that's cool. Not the best paint job in the world, but it works. And it's got Fender tuners on it. Still got the Squier neck plate. But these are really nice pickups and really nice saddles on here. Great tuners. The stability on this guitar is awesome. I'd put this up against any of my American-made Telecasters or higher dollar guitars. It's fantastic. For $100, probably the best deal out of the bunch, really. Let's take a closer look at it. Okay, we're at the last guitar, and this one is one of my builds. This was a kit guitar, and it's a Paul Reed Smith copy. So I wanted a Paul Reed Smith style kit under my belt just to see what it was like putting it together. So these are the custom pickups that came in the kit. Not custom pickups, but the pickups that came with the kit itself. And they sound surprisingly good, so I left them in the guitar. This one has an original Floyd Rose tremolo system. The Floyd Rose that came in the kit was terrible, and I just happen to have an original Floyd Rose from the 80s that I put on this guitar. Eventually I'm going to take this Floyd Rose off of the guitar and probably put a special on it because it is just a kit guitar. But one day when I do a super strat high-end Warmoth deal or something, I'll probably take this off of this guitar. But it plays awesome, and it came out really nice. I wanted to try my hands at doing different colors, and I learned a lot about color gradients and how to get it to stick better. And I named this guitar Brooke because I saw Brooke Burke in a bathing suit when I was making this guitar online, and it was those colors, so I named this guitar Brooke in honor of her. So it's cool. It's got the bird inlays. The bird inlays are interesting because they've got some kind of bluish and green markings in them. So I'll show you some close-ups of it. And I even tried to match the headstock with the color of the body. Okay, and got the back of the neck. Tried to match the back of the neck. It's got marks on it. It's been played, quite a bit. But, it's not the best job in the world, but I'm proud of it. The action, playability, and tone of this guitar sounds great, so that's the most important. I'm not the best at painting. I'm kind of impatient when it comes to that, but I like to wire and work on setups and stuff. So let's take a closer look at Brooke, and we'll wrap it up. So let's check it out. All right, so there you have it. That's my collection of junkers, homemade guitars, and Partscasters that I've either built or purchased that I love tremendously. If you've got a Partscaster or a junker that you purchased that's a success story that you want to share in the comments, I'd love to hear about it. Are some of your junkers your favorite guitars? If so, why? I try to come up with fresh content each week for you guys to enjoy and to watch, and something that I find entertaining as well. I hope that you enjoy the content. I hope that you consider subscribing when you see the video. Comment below, and as always, have a great day. Peace out.